This morning, the unrest in Iran continues as a court sentences a protester to death for allegedly setting fire to a government facility. Right now, at least 20 people are facing sentences of death, sentences for execution, all for protesting. This has still not stopped many Iranians from taking to the streets after 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died in so-called morality police custody. That was back in September. And according to Iran human rights groups, more than 326 people have been killed there by Iranian forces during these protests. That includes at least 43 children and 25 women. So for many Iranians here in San Diego, this has been a very emotional, nerve-wracking time as we all wait for updates from Iran, trying to get clear information on the people who may have been killed and arrested amid the protests. For some people here, the best way to get through these historic moments would be turning to art. As they rake through the sand, the moves are quite calming, even on a windy day coming off high tide with a choppy ocean.
Sand art started for me as just kind of a hobby or pastime during the pandemic.
Tomer has created a variety of sand art, including labyrinths for people to walk through, the Olympic rings, detailed mandalas, and important messages. You may see most of his artwork in Solana Beach. And while Tomer may work 2 to 3 hours on one piece, it only lasts a few hours in the sand.
I made the art in the earth, and the earth took back its canvas, and it's not really my canvas, it's not my beach.
But as he works with his friends and fellow artists, this next piece is emotional for them. That's because it hits very close to home. Tomer's parents are Iraqi-Iranian Jews, and Pars are both from Iran.
People are just fed up with corruption and the hypocrisy that's coming from this religious government that kills people left and right. And I think there's definitely a revolution that's happening. If you think about it, how often do we have a chance to overthrow a repressive government? So we really need to be amplifying their voices right now.
So they write messages of a free Iran for all of San Diego to see, because thousands of miles away, in Iran, the government cracks down against protesters. Thousands are being arrested. Some are even sentenced to death for going against the current Islamic Republic regime.
It doesn't matter if you're a journalist or an attorney or a singer. You could be imprisoned or killed.
The Islamic Republic of Iran is brutally repressive to the people of Iran. It also is a terrorist government.
The people of Iran are trying to overthrow the current regime in hopes of freedom, an important enough cause they're willing to put their lives at risk with rallies led mostly by women.
They cannot be judges, they cannot be pilots, they cannot be high-ranking officials in government. And so I kind of grew up with those stories and hearing about how this religious repressive government has pushed women's rights back so much.
But Par also grew up with the stories prior to 1979, when the regime took over. That was an Iran her parents knew and loved.
Iran actually used to be a free country. You could dress however you wanted. And so I grew up with stories about my mom explaining how, she would wear a miniskirt and go-go boots in the 70s. And I mean, you would get jailed if you did that today.
And that's why they're dedicated to going to the Iranian rallies in San Diego every weekend.
They're good people. They have a beautiful culture. Their food is fantastic. They deserve liberty the way we all deserve liberty.
While they can't go to Iran to fight for that liberty, they will turn to art to show where their heart truly is.
This is really not even really an Iranian issue. This is a humanitarian issue.
Incredible. So many reasons to keep the fight going here, and in whatever way they can do it. And that's the art is beautiful. And like you said, it only lasts a few hours.
Just a few hours. They worked on that so hard. But that's part of the message there.
Yeah.
Obviously, right now they're fighting for freedom. They're hoping for a free Iran. And people here in San Diego want to make sure Iranians there know that they have their support.
I mean, and the voice is being heard here across the entire nation and the world, and it's growing and growing each day. Well, thank you for bringing that to us. And thank you for keeping attention on that as well.